So we have an update to the situation around Liver King. So this week he was making strange videos on Instagram about picking a fight with Joe Rogan. The threats were taken seriously and he was then arrested at his hotel in Texas. Then after he got out of prison, which was supposed to be around 24 hours, he went back to making more strange videos on Instagram saying he's not going to stop. Johnson also shows off an ankle monitor and says Rogan took out a restraining order against him that prevents him from coming within 200 yards. Johnson says he has been ordered to get a psychiatric evaluation this week that will continue on a monthly basis.
We're going to go somewhere today here in Austin. If anybody knows where Seth Rogen's, the other version of him that rhymes with blow, if anyone knows where its family's going to be today, if you could let my team know so that we can stay within 200 yards, not close to them, to stay away from them. Oh, please, actually, I redact that. Don't do anything to their family. If we go somewhere unbeknownst to us today, if anyone who's around us can alert us that there might be anyone with the last name Rogan around, then I'll happily go the other 200 yards. This thing will help me make certain. You know how good that feels on the ankle?
He then continues ranting about picking a fight with Mr. Rogan, but says the name Seth Rogen because he's not supposed to say the name Joe Rogan.
I'm picking a fight. Who's it with? Seth Rogen. It's with Seth Rogen. And what's it for? Family. It's for family.
He made another video talking about getting bullied online because of the things that Joe Rogan said. And all of this is affecting not just him, but his business and his family.
If you know what it feels like to be bullied, it's just not a good feeling. And when you watch somebody else get bullied and there's something you could have done about it, that's not a good feeling either. And so what happens is I'm here in Austin for one word: family. That's the real reason why I'm here. Because a bully who thought he was big enough to say things about a man and then try and circulate and get more people to pile on, he forgot how that would affect the family.
He also mentions that a movie about him, which could be the Netflix documentary, only showed one side of him, so people only see him and his family in that way. This documentary did not show the good side of them.
And then things that weren't true were then disseminated in a movie. Millions of people, now people that my family and I, we go to places, they receive us thinking that we're that version. You forgot to share that my wife is actually a doctor of dental surgery, that I wrote a thesis, that I did things in biochemistry, chemistry, and biology. That's what I did. You forgot to tell the whole truth and were received as a lesser version.
He was planning to stay in Texas for about 12 days, but his plans might change. It all depends on discussions with lawyers, ever since he got arrested.
We might be packing it up today, we might not. It was supposed to be 12 days. At 7 p.m. today, we'll be at the Capitol to maybe say goodbye or to maybe not say goodbye. It kind of depends on conversations with lawyers and investigators and stuff like that over the next couple of hours, and the mental health assessment too.
He also says he was microdosing with different types of plant medicines. But before he made this trip to Texas looking for Joe Rogan, he did stop. But these could also be a factor to the change in his mental state before.
I want to just make it clear, I microdose different plant medicines. Before I came here, there was a fight to pick, so I stopped doing those. While I've been here, I stopped doing those. While I'm fighting, I won't do those. No drugs before, during, or after a mental health issue. I don't know. Never been diagnosed with one before, ever. Never taken a medication for one, ever.
So the Liver King and his family have been getting bullied online for a long time. And after all this time of getting this online harassment, he finally chose to pick a fight with Joe Rogan.
I picked a fight. In principle. Just shared why. Who'd I pick a fight with? I'm not allowed to say the name, so I won't. Why? Why did I pick the fight? Family.
After years of trying to get on the Joe Rogan podcast, he was never invited because Joe does not like how the Liver King ran a scam the entire time. But now in 2025, Mr. Johnson is still hoping to be invited on the podcast someday.
But we're resting today. If I could just formally get an invitation onto Joe Rogan podcast, and I'll release myself of leaving tomorrow. But guys, we're leaving tomorrow at around 12.
He goes on to say how the documentary or the movie about him did a lot of damage. He can try to tell the truth, but more people will only see the documentary and see that side of him. So he's really disappointed in how it all turned out. Honestly, the situation is just sad.
We kind of have a look of disappointment, How come? What do you mean about the movie? Because, that's not who you really are. We actually really know you, and this is what you got credit for. I don't really need the credit, thank you. But it's so disappointed that everybody seems, a sense of disappointment, not reconciling with the actual truth. It's like everyone's kind of left anemic, knowing we can't have closure. There's no closure because this doesn't make sense. This doesn't compute. How come this was made, but we actually know the truth? How come? Disappointment.
And that's when he pretty much blames other people for what happened to him, receiving this backlash, for getting a lot of hate, harassment, and bullying online. Well, it's all because he's the one who ran a scam and lied to everyone about it. He goes on to say that Derek and Joe Rogan are the ones to blame and they should pay.
The feeling of guilt that I carry down, you know what? Disappointed no more. The bill comes due. We're going to make Joe Rogan pay, Big Chud, one of us, both of us. And I'm going to make the other sleazy Derek, what's his name? And then he's going to be a better man. And when he does, we'll be like, yeah, Better Man. That's his last name, Derek Betterman. And then the other guy, just forget about him. That's how you pay.
So my final thoughts on this situation are that it's pretty bad that it got this far, that the bullying, the harassment, the online comments really got to him and his family, and this is where it led. But hopefully he gets things back on track. He apologized for his mistake. Okay, that's fine. Just move on with your life, be happy, and that's it, man. Just focus on that. So here's hoping things get better for the Liver King. That's it. I'm out.